Knee pain at night is one of those frustrations you don't truly understand until it becomes part of your life. You settle into bed, your room is quiet, the day is behind you, and you're ready for rest. But the moment you start to drift off, there it is. That dull, nagging ache deep in your knee. Sometimes it's sharp enough to make you shift positions over and over. Sometimes it's more of a throbbing discomfort that keeps your mind awake even when your body is exhausted. Many seniors assume this is simply how it is with age, but that's not the full story. Yes, wear and tear in the joints is natural over time. Cartilage becomes thinner, the cushioning between bones isn't what it used to be, and arthritis can make the joint more sensitive. But there's a hidden factor that often makes nighttime pain worse, and it's something most people don't even realize they're doing. It starts with how you position your legs once you're in bed. The human body isn't designed to hold still in a twisted or uneven posture for hours on end, but that's exactly what happens when you sleep in certain ways. Some people cross one leg tightly over the other. Others rest one knee on top of a thick pillow while the other lies flat. These positions can seem comfortable at first, but over time, they put uneven pressure on your knee joints. That constant slight compression affects blood flow to the tissues and can increase swelling inside the joint capsule. Poor circulation during sleep doesn't just make your knees ache in the moment. It also means they don't get the nutrients and oxygen they need for recovery. The body does a lot of repair work at night. But if blood flow is restricted, your knees wake up stiffer and more inflamed than they were during the day. This is why you can walk around fine in the afternoon but struggle to get out of bed in the morning without wincing. And posture isn't the only pre-bed habit that plays a role. The food you eat in the last few hours before sleep can quietly set the stage for inflammation. Sugary desserts, fried foods, and refined carbs can trigger inflammatory responses in the body. When eaten right before bed, the effect can be amplified because your circulation slows as you rest, giving those inflammatory compounds more time to circulate and irritate the joints. The combination of awkward leg positioning and late-night inflammatory foods is like giving your knees a double dose of stress, one mechanical, one chemical. The good news? Both are habits you can change. By adjusting your sleeping posture and rethinking your evening snacks, you can make a noticeable difference in how your knees feel overnight. When you think about knee pain, you might picture the joint under stress while standing, walking, or climbing stairs. But what many seniors don't realize is that knees can experience significant strain even when you're lying still. This happens because of something simple: the way your legs are positioned during long hours of sleep. Inside the knee, there's a complex system of cartilage, ligaments, synovial fluid, and surrounding muscles all working together to keep the joint stable and cushioned. During the day, movement helps pump fresh fluid into the joint and carry away waste products. But at night, when you remain in one position for hours, the way your knees are aligned determines whether that system is supported or strained. If you sleep with one knee rotated inward or outward too far, certain parts of the cartilage bear more weight than they should. This constant uneven pressure can cause micro-irritations in the tissue. Over weeks and months, these tiny irritations add up, making the joint more sensitive to even small changes in position. For those with arthritis, it's like rubbing an already sore spot over and over without giving it a chance to heal. There's also the matter of circulation. When one leg is crossed over the other, the pressure on blood vessels can slow the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your knees and lower legs. Without that steady supply, inflammation can build up. Swelling inside the knee joint doesn't just cause discomfort. It makes the surrounding tissues more rigid, so when you try to move in the morning, your knees feel stiff and resistant, as if they've been locked in place all night. Now add to this the reality that many seniors already have reduced muscle tone in the legs due to less physical activity. The muscles around the knees, particularly the quadriceps and hamstrings, play a major role in stabilizing the joint during rest. When these muscles aren't as strong, the knees rely more heavily on ligaments and cartilage for support, which means poor positioning can cause more strain than it would in younger, more muscular legs. One of the best ways to counter this is to create a neutral sleeping position for your legs. If you sleep on your back, place a small, soft pillow under your knees to keep them slightly bent and supported. This takes pressure off the joint and encourages better blood flow. If you sleep on your side, put a thin pillow between your knees so they stay aligned, preventing the top leg from pulling the bottom knee out of its natural position. It's a small change, but it can have a surprisingly big impact. Many seniors report that when they adjust their sleeping posture, their nighttime knee pain decreases within days, sometimes even the very first morning. When it comes to nighttime knee pain, posture is only part of the story. What you put into your body before bed can quietly set the stage for inflammation that lingers through the night. It's not something most people think about. After all, a small snack before sleep feels harmless. But for joints that are already sensitive, certain foods can be the difference between waking up rested and waking up sore. Inflammation isn't always obvious. You don't need visible swelling for it to be affecting your knees. Inside the joint, the synovial membrane, the thin lining that produces the fluid for lubrication, can become irritated by chemical signals from the food you eat. When this happens, the fluid becomes thicker and less effective, and tissues inside the knee can stiffen overnight. This is why some people wake up feeling like their knees are rusty hinges that need time to loosen up. Late-night eating makes this worse for two reasons. First, your digestion slows while you sleep, meaning the breakdown of food and any inflammatory response lasts longer. Second, lying down soon after eating changes how blood is distributed in your body. More blood is directed toward the digestive system, leaving less for joint repair and recovery. The result? Your knees don't get the resources they need at the very time when your body is supposed to be healing. Certain foods are especially problematic. High-sugar desserts like cake or ice cream can trigger a spike in blood sugar, leading to a cascade of inflammatory markers. Fried or processed foods, which are often high in trans fats, have a similar effect. Even seemingly healthy choices like white bread or pasta can act like sugar in the body, fueling inflammation if eaten too close to bedtime. And for some people, dairy or processed meats can be quiet culprits, irritating the joints without causing obvious digestive issues. This doesn't mean you can never have an evening snack. It means being mindful about what you choose and when you eat it. If you tend to get hungry before bed, opt for anti-inflammatory foods in small portions. A handful of walnuts, a few slices of avocado, or a small bowl of berries. These can help satisfy hunger without adding stress to your joints. Herbal teas like chamomile or ginger can also support relaxation while offering gentle anti-inflammatory benefits. The timing matters just as much as the food itself. Aim to finish your last snack or meal at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. This gives your body time to digest, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce any inflammatory response before you settle in for the night. When you combine mindful eating with supportive sleeping posture, you're addressing two major causes of nighttime knee pain at once. But there's one more piece of the puzzle, something that happens in the moments just before you close your eyes, which can either help your knees recover or leave them aching until morning. By the time you crawl into bed, your body has already been through a full day of movement, pressure, and, for many seniors, more sitting than you realize. Long periods of sitting during the day, whether in a chair or recliner, can cause fluid to pool in your legs and knees. If you then lie down for the night without addressing that, the swelling remains, and the joint spends the night in a low-grade state of inflammation. That's why some people find that their knees feel full or heavy when they first get under the covers. A few simple routines before bed can change that. One of the most effective is gentle movement to encourage circulation before you settle in for the night. This doesn't have to be exercise in the traditional sense. In fact, it shouldn't be intense, as that could leave your joints irritated. Instead, think of light, slow stretches. Sitting on the edge of your bed and extending each leg gently, rolling your ankles, or doing slow knee bends while holding onto a stable surface can all help push excess fluid out of the knee area and back into circulation. If standing movements are difficult, you can even do these while lying down. For example, lying on your back and sliding one heel toward your hips, then extending it again. Encourages blood flow without putting weight on the joint. Rotating your feet in gentle circles also wakes up the small muscles that help pump blood through your lower legs. These small actions help prepare the knee for a night of rest rather than a night of stiffness. Another powerful yet often overlooked tool is heat therapy. Applying a warm compress or heating pad to the knee for 10 to 15 minutes before bed can relax the muscles and improve circulation to the joint. This warmth helps synovial fluid flow more easily, allowing the knee to feel less rigid when you change positions in bed. Just make sure the heat is warm, not hot, and avoid falling asleep with it still on. Elevation can also play a role. If your knees often swell during the day, propping them slightly above the level of your heart for 15 to 20 minutes before bed can help reduce fluid buildup. This is easy to do while lying down and reading or watching TV. Simply place a pillow or folded blanket under your lower legs, not directly under the knees, to support them without forcing the joint into an awkward bend. Perhaps just as important as physical preparation is mental preparation. Stress and tension can make you subconsciously tighten the muscles around your knees, even when you're lying still. Gentle breathing exercises before bed help relax the whole body, including the legs, creating the best possible environment for pain-free rest. Once you combine this pre-bed routine with the right posture and the right food timing, your knees are in the best position to heal during the night. But what happens if you still wake up with pain? In the next part, we'll explore how to respond in the middle of the night without fully disrupting your rest, and how to prevent those wake-ups from becoming a nightly habit. Even with the best posture, careful eating, and gentle bedtime routines, there may still be nights when knee pain interrupts your sleep. For some seniors, it's not about preventing the first twinge. It's about knowing how to respond in those moments so the pain doesn't escalate and rob you of the rest of the night. The key is to act early, before discomfort turns into a deep ache that's hard to calm. If you wake up with knee pain, the first step is to check your position. Often, without realizing it, you may have shifted into a posture that puts pressure on the joint. Perhaps the top knee has drifted forward if you're lying on your side, or your legs have twisted slightly while on your back. Adjusting back into a neutral position, using a pillow between your knees or under them, can reduce strain almost immediately. If the pain feels warm, swollen, or tight, gentle movement can help. This doesn't mean getting out of bed for a walk. Even small, slow motions like bending and straightening the leg a few times or rotating the ankle in circles can encourage blood flow and relieve pressure. You might be surprised how much relief you can get from just 2 or 3 minutes of these quiet movements without fully waking yourself up. Another tool is temperature therapy, even in the middle of the night. If the pain feels sharp or inflamed, a cold pack wrapped in a soft cloth can numb the area and reduce swelling. If it feels more like stiffness or muscle tightness around the joint, gentle heat can be more effective. Keeping a small microwavable heat pack or a gel cold pack by your bedside makes it easy to apply without having to turn on bright lights or walk across the house. Breathing is another underestimated ally. When pain wakes you, it's easy to tense your whole body without realizing it. This tension can make the discomfort worse. Taking slow, steady breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth, helps relax the muscles around the knee and signals to your nervous system that it's safe to calm down. This shift alone can make it easier to drift back into sleep. Most importantly, don't ignore recurring patterns. If you find that you're waking at the same time each night with knee pain, it could mean your current bedtime habits aren't fully supporting your joints. You might need a thinner or thicker pillow between your knees, a different mattress firmness, or adjustments to your pre-bed routine. Small tweaks can make a big difference over time. Once you've handled the occasional wake-up, the next step is ensuring your knees feel stronger and more resilient overall, so these interruptions become rare. In the final part, we'll talk about how to strengthen your knees during the day, reduce inflammation long-term, and create a lifestyle that supports pain-free nights, not just tonight, but for years to come. The best way to enjoy pain-free nights is to care for your knees during the day. Nighttime comfort doesn't just depend on what happens in the hours before bed. It's the result of how your joints are treated from morning until evening. Every step you take, every chair you sit in, every choice you make about movement or stillness contributes to how your knees feel when the lights go out. Strengthening the muscles around the knee is one of the most powerful ways to protect the joint. The quadriceps, hamstrings, and calf muscles all play a role in stabilizing and supporting the knee, reducing the amount of stress placed directly on the cartilage and ligaments. Low-impact exercises like walking, swimming, or gentle cycling can help keep these muscles active without overloading the joint. Even 5 to 10 minutes of light strengthening work daily, like seated leg lifts or standing calf raises, can build a protective buffer that makes a noticeable difference over time. Equally important is flexibility. Tight muscles pull on the knee joint, affecting its alignment and increasing wear. Simple stretches for the hamstrings, calves, and thighs can relieve this tension. Gentle yoga or Tai Chi are also excellent for seniors, as they combine stretching, balance, and mindful movement in a way that supports overall joint health. Your daytime habits matter for inflammation too. The same foods that can cause nighttime swelling, sugary treats, processed snacks, excessive fried foods, can contribute to low-grade inflammation throughout the day. Choosing an anti-inflammatory diet rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, healthy fats, and lean proteins gives your body the nutrients it needs to repair tissues and keep joints healthy. Drinking enough water also helps keep cartilage hydrated and flexible. Pay attention to how long you sit. Prolonged sitting allows fluid to pool in the legs and can make knees feel stiff later. Getting up and moving every 30 to 45 minutes, even just to stand and stretch, keeps circulation active. If you must sit for long periods, choosing a chair with good support and keeping your feet flat on the floor can prevent unnecessary strain. Finally, listen to your knees. Pain is a signal, not an enemy. If your knees ache after certain activities, it's worth adjusting rather than pushing through. Rest when you need it, but balance that rest with consistent, gentle activity to keep the joint from weakening. When you combine these daytime strategies with the nighttime habits we've discussed, proper sleeping posture, mindful eating, pre-bed circulation routines, and in-the-moment relief techniques, you give your knees the best possible chance to rest deeply and heal while you sleep. Over time, these small, steady changes build into something much greater. Nights without the constant reminder of pain, mornings where you step out of bed with more ease, and days where your joints feel like they're working with you, not against you. Your knees carry you through life. With a little care, they can carry you comfortably, even through the quiet hours of the night.